Hi, this is Rachel Stone with CCT in Richmond, Virginia, and I'll show you some tips for selecting text and editing text in Word 2013. And we'll start with selecting text, and really being good at selecting text can be the key to being good at editing your text, because you want to make sure you grab the text that you want to work with. Now in Word, your default mouse pointer is this I-beam pointer. It looks like the letter I. I'm kind of hovering at the middle of the screen. And I can use that to drag select text. And I'll start by just clicking at the beginning of the word talk, click and hold my mouse button down and drag down. You see as I go down I'm selecting more and more text. Now once that's selected, I can copy, I can cut, I can bold, I can do all kinds of things with that text. And when I'm done, I just need to click elsewhere to deselect. So you have select and then deselect. Now let's say I want to select just a word. Let's say I want to select the word impressions. Now you can drag select the word, but a nice shortcut would be to double click the word. Now in another quick way to select text is by using your mouse pointer over in the left margin. Notice as I drag over to the left, my mouse pointer becomes an arrow, and with that arrow, anything I click next to will be selected. So I can click the heading greeting, I can click to select this line, click to select this line, or you can click and hold your mouse button and drag down to select text. Okay. You can use double click with that. If I place my mouse pointer over in that margin to get the white arrow, I can double click. That selects a sentence. Or excuse me, that selects the entire paragraph. Again, out in the margin, double click, selects your paragraph. Now a little trick with that though is if your mouse pointer is over your paragraph with the I-beam pointer, double click still just selects a word. The double click only works when you're out in the margin. If I want to select a whole paragraph with my mouse pointer here over the text, I do a triple click or a click click click, and that will select the whole paragraph. Now let's say instead of a paragraph or a word, I'd like to select just a sentence. I have a sentence that begins near the right hand side of line 2 of this paragraph, and it ends near the left hand side of the third line of my paragraph, and that can be tricky for some people to select. So here's a great shortcut. You can actually hold Control down on your keyboard as you click within that sentence, and it selects just that sentence. So I'll deselect here and show you again. I hold Control, click, and it selects just my sentence. I'll demonstrate it again at the top. Control, I'll click here, and it selects just my sentence for me. Okay. Now, if I want to select all of the text on my entire document, there's a keyboard shortcut for that. Control A selects everything on every page. Also on the Home tab, there is a select option on the far right hand side, and then you could choose select all, and that selects everything on your document as well. And I'll click to deselect. Now you can select text with your keyboard. I put a little bit of that here. So Shift arrow key selects in that direction. So I'm going to click to place my cursor here, and I hold down Shift on my keyboard as I type my right arrow. And notice I'm selecting right, or if I hold my left arrow, I'm going to select left. I can press the down arrow, I'm selecting down. Hit the up arrow, I'm selecting up. So as long as you're holding down Shift, see I can just keep going up, up, up. As long as you're holding Shift, it's going to keep going in that direction. Now this is a cool tip. Shift plus Control plus arrow selects words. So I'll start at the beginning of the ability to make changes paragraph. I'll click here, hold down Control Shift on my keyboard, and each time I press the right arrow, each time I tap it, I select another word at a time. Okay, now deselect that. Now you can use some of these selection tools to help you edit, and I'll scroll back up here. Let's say I want to move this sincere heading and paragraph so they are before the pleasant heading and paragraph. The easiest way to select this for me, I will come out to the margin, use my white arrow to select the heading and body text. And now I'm going to just drag and drop it up there. Anytime you select something, notice once it's selected, see how my mouse pointer has the little white header on it now? I don't have that I-beam anymore. So with that arrow, I know I can drag and drop. So I'm going to click and hold on this selection start dragging upwards. You can see this cursor moving around. I want to drop it just before pleasant, and when I release, all the selected text has now been dropped before the pleasant heading, and it dropped the pleasant heading down. So I'll show you that again. I'm going to rearrange these two paragraphs. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to click and hold and drag it so it's above the first one. You can also select non-contiguous text in Word. So far we've been selecting things that are connected this way. But what if I just want to select these three headings: sincere, pleasant, and brief? I'll start by selecting the first one, then hold down Control as I select pleasant and then brief. And now with just those three selected, I can go up to the font group on the Home tab and let's say I want to change the font color, or I want to make this underlined or italics. Now you can see that's applied to just those three. Another nice tip is knowing how to show non-printing characters. We're still on the Home tab, and in the paragraph group there's this button called the Show Hide button, and I'll click that, and that's displaying for me characters that don't typically print. Like when you press enter on your keyboard, it actually inserts this, which provides a hard return, and I can see where that hard return is inserted. Also, and I'll zoom in a little bit, it'll display a little dot between each word where you would press the space bar. And I'll go ahead and hit the space bar a few times so you can see that. Or I'll click here and press enter again so you can see how it looks each time I press enter. Now I'll turn that show hide off and zoom back out a little bit. So if you're trying to troubleshoot a document, say, well, how many times did I press enter here? Is it 2 or 3? You can hit this button and say, aha, I pressed it twice. Or, boy, I have a lot of space between these two words. How did that get there? You can hit this button and say, aha, I have a bunch of extra space bar there. I can take that out. And I'll go ahead and remove these as well. Now I can select them both with my mouse and press delete on my keyboard. And that's an easy way to delete a few things at once. Again, this is Rachel Stone with CCT in Richmond, Virginia. And these are just a few quick tips for editing text in Word. Thanks so much for watching.